going to go recording. You're going to go, holy cow. Holy cow, that makes perfect sense. Now I need to have someone that would role play with me for just a small part of it. Is Delania on the call? I know Delania was a school teacher. Any other school teachers on the call? Past school teachers, previous school teachers? Okay. Anyone worked in the corporate world for 40 hours a week? Anyone worked in the corporate world 40 hours a week?
I did.
Okay, we got Stephanie and Paola. All right, so Stephanie, since you spoke up first, I'm going to utilize you, okay? Nothing personal, Paola. Hopefully I said the name right. Paola. Paola,
no problem.
Paola. All right, so Stephanie. So we're going to get started. So guys, I have my notes from my call yesterday, 2 pages. And by the way, my coaching calls are usually around 20 to 30 minutes. If I get everything I need in 10 minutes, there's no need to go 30 minutes on the call. I can't implement everything that we talk about. So what I want to talk about with Stephanie today is, Stephanie, tell me, when you were in the corporate world, how many hours a week did you work?
More than 40.
Okay, more than 40. If I asked you, tell me about your work day in a 30 seconds or less quick synopsis, what you did every day. What was your work schedule like every day?
Well, I worked for Rooms to Go. So I was a salesperson in the kids department. So I had to make sure the beds were, nice and straight and clean. And, the kids come in, they jump on the beds and stuff when they're buying furniture. I had to make sure that, all of our, I knew all of our sales that's going on. We had sales for every holiday. So I had to make sure I knew what it was, and so that I can promote it to every customer that came in.
Okay. So thank you for that. And thank you for that quick version of it. What I got out of that was a lot in that quick amount of time. Every day you went in, you had to make sure all the beds were nice and made, because it's about presentation, right? Okay. And how long do you think that took every day? Was it an hour, 2 hours to do that part?
Probably about an hour.
About an hour. Okay. And that's important because it's all about presentation. So if those beds were not made right, people would just kind of walk by it. Also, you said all the sales that went on annually, you had to know what they were, what the prices were, and everything else. Do you just get a sheet on that and know it and then it automatically sticks? Or did you have to study it, look at the product?
I had to study it. They would give us the flyers and let us know what was the promotions were. So I had to, put in the time to know.
So you had to study all that, and it took time, because you don't want to misrepresent the sale, the product, or the consumer, right? So it was important. Right. If you messed that up, it reflected on you, right? Okay. So yep. Here's where I'm really going with this, guys. My coach, by the way, I couldn't get away with anything because my wife was sitting in the next seat next to me, shaking her head, going, All right. So here's the reality, guys. Who here on the call says that they say they work day and night in weekends in real estate? I know there's several, okay? But here's what I'm going to challenge you on. I want you to think about something, because we're still in the business planning time of the year. We're still in the time of the year where we're setting our goals for next year. You heard it on the call Wednesday with Curtis. So let me see if Craig is on the call yet. Craig, you on the call? He's not here yet. He's going to be chiming in. He's in London right now. So, all right. So here's the thing, guys. So as I was talking to my coach yesterday, and this reflects, this is directly for you guys. And I hope that you get something out of this today. And then we're going to break some things down. All right. What is the most important job description that you have? Is Red on the call? Red always answers it properly. He's always good. What is the most important job that we have? Okay, Lizette, thank you. Thank you. And you corrected your grammar. Good job. Lead generation is your most important job. Now, Stephanie, since I was role playing with you, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm just, or embarrass you. Ralph, know the market. Yes, 100%. Know the market. And I skipped number 5 last week, and Red let me know that. All right. So Stephanie, if I asked you, okay, so your goal is to earn X amount of dollars a year, and the number one thing that you need to do is lead generate, right? That's our number one job. And you need to do it 2 hours a day at minimum. How many hours are you lead generating per week? Honestly?
Not as much as I need to.
Okay, so not as much as you need to, but what are the hours? How many hours would you say you lead generate every week, Monday through Friday?
My problem is I get caught up when I do make the calls, and then we talk on the phone for an hour about what's going on. So I would easily say 2 hours, but it's not a productive 2 hours.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go back into that too, because I'm glad you brought that up. So on a weekly basis, Stephanie, how many hours are you lead generating? Lead generating, really sincerely going, I'm calling my database, I'm calling for sale by owners, I'm calling expireds, I'm meeting with people. How many hours per week would you say you're lead generating?
I would say 2, but an unproductive 2.
Okay. So 2 hours. All right.
Right.
What is the second most important job description that we have in real estate? Is lead follow-up, right? Thank you, Lizette.
Yes.
Lead follow-up. Okay. Now, how many hours a day or week would you say that you actually lead follow-up?
Probably 1 hour. And then I get frustrated because sometimes they don't answer the phone, or, like
Okay.
that. There goes another one.
Stephanie, I want you to know, thank you for participating, but honestly, I want you to know that I'm even going to take I'm going to take a personal call with you for 45 minutes to an hour and help you with your business plan. Okay, for participating in this. All right. So, and we'll schedule that. So you do 1 hour of that. Let me ask you also, how much time do you spend per week prepping for your business? In other words, if you work in the restaurant industry, you open the door, but you have to have everything prepped for the doors to be open, such as, the fruit trays set up, the tables cleaned up, all that stuff. What I mean by prep, how many hours a week are you doing script and role play, mastering your scripts, role playing, and all that?
Not much time. I actually wanted to do that with what's his name? That's on my list.
Okay. So would you say 0, or would you say an hour a week?
I would say 0. I just kind of wing it. I go in there and I talk to them, and
Okay.
most of my calls are referrals, or most of the people that I work with are referrals, so they kind of know me already. Or even when I do get the calls through Zillow,
Okay.
HUD, it just goes very smooth. So I haven't put a lot of time into like bettering. Sorry,
Okay.
my phone's going out.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. So what we have so far is here's ultimately what I'm looking to get at, guys. All right. You ready for this? So if I said to Stephanie, your goal is to earn, I'm just going to use a magic number, whether it's your goal or not, I'm just going to use this. Stephanie, your goal is to earn $100,000 in a year. And as we spoke just recently, in the last less than 10 minutes, what we've diagnosed is the most important thing in your business to do is lead generation, a minimum of 10 hours per week. And you're doing it 2. How can we get you to do 8 more hours per week? Okay, so now that's only 10 hours, right? The second most important thing is lead follow-up. And we should do that at minimum 1 hour per day. That's 5 hours per week. Then we go into appointments. How many appointments do you need per week to achieve your goal? And she needs 1 appointment a week for her goal if she wants to earn $100,000. And an average appointment, let's say it takes an hour and a half, 1.5. And that's a long appointment. Okay. And then you have administrative stuff. Let's say you spend an hour a day on administrative stuff. So that's 5 hours per week. Guys, here's what I'm doing. I'm actually trying to help you self-diagnose how much time you actually work. Now, when you say real estate is tough, or when you say I'm not earning the business that I deserve, or when you say I work 24/7, I want you to think about something. How many hours are you investing in lead generation, which is your number 1 job description? 10 hours per week. How much lead follow-up are you doing? 5 hours. So here's the reality of it. Most of us are spending less than 20 hours a week on actionable items to help us earn the living we're looking to earn. Now, if you were working in your corporate job at Rooms to Go and you only gave them 20 hours per week because you were kind of roaming the store, not really, and you were gossiping, what would happen?
I'd be fired.
Well, not only would you be fired, you wouldn't reach your sales goals for the income that you were looking for bonuses and whatever else, right?
Right.
This is exactly what we're doing in our real estate business. Guys, my wife sat right in the next chair over when my coach was going over this with me. He goes, how many hours are you lead generating? How many hours are you lead following up? How many appointments are you going on? So I'm actually relating to you guys. And when he said, I want you to honestly tell me that you're working 40 hours a week. And I said, I can't tell you that. As a matter of fact, my wife is sitting right here. Honey, do I work 40 hours? She goes, no. I may seem like I'm working 40 hours a week because I'm busy throughout the day, maybe answering phone calls, or I may be answering a call for someone that says, hey, could you tell me what would you do? What if, the what if, the what if, the what if, the what if, or can you tell me what would this scenario look like? And you get engaged in that because you allow it to be a distraction from your business. I see you smiling, Stephanie, because it's exactly what we do. So
Absolutely. All the time.
So I want you to think about something here, and I don't know if Craig's on the call yet, and I'm going to have him elaborate on top of some of the things that he brought to me. So some of the things that I wrote down, don't be a Tom who, be a Tom with purpose. So don't be a Stephanie who to the consumer, be a Stephanie of a realtor, a real estate professional. So I want you to think about some. Are you setting standards for your business? And are you making those standards? He has a call at 9 a.m. So I don't know if he is on the call right now. If he is, I'm going to have him jump in right now. Let's see. Craig. No, he's not on. So he's not able to join us. He's got another call in London. So anyway, are you setting the standards for your growth of your business for 2022? When you're doing your business plan and your action plan, are you setting the standards and the expectations for yourself? So then he came over and he said, I want you to think about something, Tom. what is the best use of your time? What is the best use of your time? So the best use of my time to generate business is lead generation. If I just did lead generation and I slacked in everything else, I would get better results than I'm getting now. So are you focusing on the best use of your time and protecting it? You know, those of us that have kids and don't have kids, at night, we lock our doors, we shut our blinds, we lock our cars. Why? Why would you lock your doors? You're protecting your home from someone coming in. You're locking your doors because you're protecting your vehicle from someone going in. Why are we not protecting our time to do the activities we need to do to earn the income we desire? So, what is the best use of your time? We have the general work week is 40 hours per week. So if you're out there 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, extremely busy, could that have been done during 8 to 5? Are we running our business like a business, or are we allowing people to call us whenever they want, and then we work when we get a phone call? See, I've always used this thing, and I'm not telling you not to do this, but what I'm saying is there's no such thing as a real estate emergency. Someone calls you at 7 o'clock at night and says, I need to know where the lender's at with my file because blah, blah. Well, you're not the lender. Hey, that's a great question. Why don't you go ahead and give him a call? Don't call the lender and blah, blah, blah. Focus on what is your best use of your time? Okay. Yes, we handle the file. Yes, we're the professional. We don't do mortgages and we don't do title. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. It's not your role. Let them handle that part, because all we do is get in the way. Okay, we want to help, but we're in the way. So 40 hours a week. I'm asking you guys, you need to dig in deep with yourself and honestly look and go, if I did 40 hours a week, what would my income look like? Oh no, I work more than 40 hours. Well, then I'm going to challenge you to the point that I want you to kind of track that. And I guarantee you, you're not working that 40 hours a week. So setting the standards for your business and putting the criteria in place with your action plan. Now, how do we know if we're doing the time that we should be in our business? So if our goal, if we have to lead generate 10 hours per week, how do we know we're actually doing that? You know, I remember when I first had a lot of jobs that I had growing up, even as a young kid and even as a younger adult, we had this card that we had to stick into a clock, right? And it time stamped the time that we checked into our job, the time that we went on lunch, the time we came back from lunch, and the time we left for the day. And that's how we got paid, is based on the working hours. Are you tracking the amount of time that you're actually lead generating? If there's one thing that can increase your business in 2022 that would help it succeed at the highest level for all of us, would be tracking the amount of time we're doing the activities for our goal. Number one, lead generation. Number two, lead follow-up. Okay. So when we say to our spouses and our family, I've worked my butt off all this week. Did you really work your butt off this week? Or are you exhausted from finding out what you can do to keep yourself busy because you weren't busy at all? Lizette, I see that hand up and I didn't want to ignore it. I just wanted to really dig in. So the lead generation, personal calls, attending classes, making sure that you're 100% purposeful on your daily activities, which creates your weekly activities, which creates your monthly, which creates your annual goal. Because I know this. Hey, honey, can you go and get the sign over up in Ormond Beach today? Sure, I'll go get it. What time will you go get it? I'm gonna, after the morning call, I'll go do it. So by going to get the sign, what have I said no to? What should I be doing during that time? I should be lead generating, right? So I do it too, guys. So what I'm saying is, how can we be more purposeful on doing the things that we need to do to achieve our goal? Okay. What's that, honey? She just said, I'll go get the sign. No, I'm kidding. So Lizette, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, yes, sorry. Oh, no, I can comment at the end. I don't want to, I know you're on a roll.
No, go ahead. I want you to.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that, I remember when I was at the office, I got accustomed everybody to call me after 1 o'clock. So even if I couldn't look at my agenda, let's say I'm running around, I got accustomed to, I accustomed everybody, even my family, to call me after 1 o'clock. Because that way 9 to 12 was lead gen time. And if you have to, you have to kind of prepare people beforehand and your clients as well. You have to let them know that you're not available in the mornings. You can tell them that you're prospecting for them, houses for them. You're calling sellers and you're calling buyers. And you're working for them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's setting standards and expectations and criteria, right? You meet with a buyer or a seller, you can always tell them, hey, please feel free to call me between 1 and 5 any day. My calendar is actually booked for the next 6 months from 9 to 12.
And you're not lying. I mean, it's just booked.
It is. It is. It's the simple things, guys, because remember, I don't know, I've said this many times before. I'm looking to hire someone. I need to pay him. I want to pay him $100,000 a year. I need you to show up at work at 8:30. I need you to make 50 phone calls, and I need you to only talk to 10 people a day. I also need you to follow up with the people that you talk to between 1 and 3. And then all I want you to do is go on 1 appointment per week and then take the rest of the time off. That is not 40 hours a week, and I'm paying someone $100,000 for that. Well, guys, the reality is that's your job right there to earn $100,000. People come into real estate for a couple reasons. Number one, they want a little bit more freedom. And number two, they want to develop their own business. But what ends up happening is, as we're developing our own business, we don't hold ourselves accountable like a boss would hold us accountable to that clock. And then we say our boss doesn't treat us well, and I work my butt off. Because if you don't work your butt off, you get fired. Why aren't you fired? Would you hire yourself? Right now, would you hire yourself? Maybe you wouldn't, but that's okay. This is what the purpose of these calls are, is to help us put stuff in perspective that we need to do. Krista, how are you?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Great. I love all this, and my question to you is, I'm looking at my board, and I have my day from like 6:30 to 10:30 by hour, kind of done, right? And for example, today, my call at 8:30 to 9:30. 9:30, I'm supposed to be doing follow-up posts, and then 10:30 to 12:30 prospecting. Right now, I'm rushing to do a FaceTime showing for a client in Delaware. And then at 11, I have an inspection. So my whole day now is like, my whole morning is now upside down. So I always feel like I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but like you said, I mean, I can't change the Zoom, the Zoom FaceTime thing. I can't change the inspection. How do you, as a producing agent, how do you keep yourself on track? Because now I'm not going to do lead generation, because now I'm going to go through the rest of the afternoon that I have on my board.
Krista, welcome to normalcy. Well, that's normal, right? We're in the normal realtor world, right? Those things
Okay.
happen. I'll never forget when Gary Keller was writing the book, The One Thing, with Jay Papasan, and basically the one thing is about time management. What do you see when you say yes to the home inspection and to the Zoom during your lead generation time? You've actually said yes to that, and you told your lead generation, you're not that important. I'm not doing you right now.
Right.
So, perfect example. So, Krista, I know that you got this. I know you have. I know you need to do the inspection at 10 o'clock today. Actually, my calendar is booked for today. Can we do it at 2 or 3 today?
So I'm the one that should be controlling that rather than them controlling my time.
I wrote the same thing down on my page from yesterday's call, Krista. It's expectations, right? It's setting the expectations. It's the same thing with like a doctor's appointment. I call the dentist and I say, hey, I need an appointment, because I need a cleaning, whatever. Okay, we have 9 o'clock available. You have to work their schedule, right?
Right.
Because they're not going to say, yeah, I'll give you whatever time you want. They'll give you several time spots and you get to pick.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing. So, all right, we need to schedule the inspection. Mr. Inspector, what days can you do it? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday from 1 to 3?
Okay. I do feel like I give them the power. I give everybody else in my life the power to schedule it into my day, and then all my, it looks really pretty in my calendar that I want to do, and it never happens.
Okay, so here's the other thing, Krista. Thank you for being so humble and honest about this. What happens is when we say yes to that, we're saying no to the other things because we're falling into their times, right?
Right.
But in reality, who's giving them the business? We are, right? Our customer is. We're referring them. It's so critical and it's so important that we set the criteria, we set the standard that this is our business. And when we off that, and I guarantee this morning when you were looking at your board, you were probably getting a little bit like either anxiety feeling or frustrated feeling or going, why? I can't do this when I need to do this.
Right. I'm always anxious because I'm not doing the prospecting and I'm not doing my pretty calendar that I spent time thinking about it. And
So you spent all that time, you did it, and then the only person that we can really get onto about that is ourselves, right?
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Guys, this is real estate's not a perfect world, and there's not many agents I know, whether they're doing 100 million or 200 million, that have the perfect schedule. But I will tell you, the harder you work on it and the best you stick to it is the best. Now, Krista, I want to bring something up to you. My coach mentioned to me a long time ago, and not only him that I heard it from John Maxwell. I've heard it from very successful leaders in our world, that an appointment can be moved, right? An appointment can be moved, and the event cannot. Okay. So if you were traveling to Vegas for the EXP Con, you can't say, hey, Glenn, I got a home inspection. You need to move the EXP Con till a later date. That's not happening, right? You can't move the event, but you can move an appointment. I understand we have an inspection today at 10. Something's come up. Can we do it tomorrow at 1 or today at 2? Whatever. So when you're actually scheduling that, be mindful. Okay, before I say yes to that 11 o'clock, let me check my calendar from 9 to 12. What are the things I need to be doing and protect that time?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So, Stephanie, your hand was raised.
Yes, it is. I wanted to piggyback on what is it Trisha? What she was saying
Krista.
Krista, okay. In regards to the scheduling, it really is in your control, and it actually brings more value to you, to you and your business when you do take that control, and you tell them. It's one of the things I'm working on too. So, take the control. If you're doing a FaceTime, you can do a video and send it to them. You don't have to be pressured to do just a FaceTime, where it's just one time, because more than likely they're going to want to see it again or show their spouse, So I just wanted to, give you that too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So my coach is doing an interview with one of the real estate agents that he coaches. And I want to put the link in here for you guys. He's doing an interview with this individual. Let me tell you the date, copy it. So he's doing an interview with her Tuesday, the 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he's actually going to be talking about how she went from working at Disney to running a mega team within not a very long period of time. And I'd love for you guys to join that call, invite people to that call, and really kind of see what you get out of it. So it's November 16th at 2 p.m. I just put in the link. It doesn't cost anything. And he's actually going to be interviewing a mega agent on how they took her business from there to there. And you're going to hear a lot of the same things that we're talking about on these calls. Is number one, what's your number one priority, which is lead generation? What's the number two? Your lead follow-up. How do you protect your calendar, right? So as you go into this holiday season, and as you go into the time to do your goals, priorities, and strategies, your goal planning, Krista, how do you set the expectations to protect your time? And what is your goal? What is your script that you're going to use for that? Right? Oh, thank you for fitting me in at 11 on this date. I actually have another appointment. Could we move it to another time from 1 to 3? Home inspectors, appraisers, we don't have to work on their time. I promise you, there's always a way to schedule them in. Or, hey, Mr. Listing Agent, our inspection is scheduled this time. I have another appointment booked. Would you be okay if the inspector went? He's part of the MLS. Most of the inspectors have the MLS access because they're preferred vendor partners. And so you could do that too. They have a key, they have all their stuff, and they have insurance. What is your purpose of being at the inspection anyways, other than to sit there and just wait for him to do his job for 2 hours? All right.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. All right. So some of the important things that I got out of the call with my coach was, am I truly working 40 hours a week? And if I'm not, and I did work 40 hours a week, what would the results look like then? One of the things that I discussed with him was the past month, I haven't gotten the results that I need to get to achieve my goal. And he says, well, let's talk about what you're actually doing. And I couldn't fib because my wife was sitting there and she knows what I've been doing. So I was not focused on what I needed to do. It pulled me back in. That's what coaches do. They analyze what you're doing. They see your blind spots and they pull you back in. And he pulled me back in. I wrote it down. It's going in my agenda. It goes in my calendar, and it works. So, all right, it's 9:10. We still have 47 people on the call. What time is the masterclass? It says 7 times. It is actually 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So let me put that in there. Okay. Copy. And I'm going to put it in the chat again. Paste. Okay, enter. All right, so 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he's been coaching this young lady since she was brand new in the business. Okay, so you're going to get some really awesome stuff out of it. It's a great opportunity to be on there. He opened it up to me to hand out to you guys. And I really hope that those of you who do attend that get something really, really awesome out of it. All right, so we're at 9/11 and some ahas. Stephanie, thank you for being a good sport there. I know it's not easy when we're throwing up what we actually do. 2 hours of lead generation, 1 hour of follow-up. We've got to really analyze our business in our day and go, what can we do that's the most productive for my time, best use of your time. So we're open.
Thank you, Tom. That's great information right there. Great information and motivation. It's kind of like taking a shower, like they say. You need the reminder every day. So thank you. I look forward to these calls all the time. They're my favorite.
Yeah, there's no, and Stephanie, there's no magic in it. Thank you for that. There's no magic. It's just pulling back. Okay. We as realtors, we work hard, but we're blessed too with the financial rewards at the end of that sale. But we also have to put in the time, the effort, and everything else, because if we truly care about our customer, we need to do what we need to do, say we're going to do. And we need to be that experienced, knowledgeable agent to help them.
Yes.
So, all right. Anybody else? Ahas or questions, or anybody else want to share that they're not working 40 hours a week like I wasn't? Letty, how are you?
Hi, Tom. So good to see you. Thank you so much for your class. It's always, it wakes me up. I have a quick question. Of course, I'm not working 40 hours a week. That's a given. And I want to work more hours, more effective hours. But I was thinking sometimes when I sit down in the morning and make phone calls, I get a lot of voicemails or I can answer right now. So I start doing a couple of hours after 4 or 5 when people, even at 6 or 7 p.m. when people comes back from work and it seems like they have more time. They already have dinner with the family or whatever, and they're more willing to talk. So I wanted to ask you, how do we know the 9 to 1 is a more effective time to find them?
So 9 to 12, 9 to 1. So as people wake up, they're at their best. Nothing bad has happened. They haven't received any bad news. They go to work all day. They hate their job. They're miserable, right? And then you call them. You see, you may not get them all the time between that 9 and 1, but the ones you do get are going to be the best calls, because there's nothing damaging in their day yet, right? It's a new day. It's a new day. So consistency, Letty, will bring in the business that you desire, right? So yeah, you may get a lot of voicemails. One of the things that I learned a long time ago, about 9 years ago, is when I used to make phone calls to for-sale owners, expireds, or even realtors when I was trying to recruit them or attract them to the company, I'd say, hey, Letty, this is Tom Martin, blah, and I'd hang up. I'd leave literally a quarter or a half a message. And let me tell you, do you know what? I got a call back 100% of the time. 100% of the time. So think about that. It's not a deception. It was brilliant and it works. So do your calls religiously, 9 to 12, 9 to 1 every day, and you will get the ones who really want to work with you. And if you do leave a voicemail, try it. Try leaving a half a message and see what happens.
Promise. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else? Come on. I'm staring at a screen here and I can be silent too. I'm
I
just
have
gonna,
another question, Tom. It's Krista again. So as far as accountability is concerned, how do you set up accountability with somebody? Because I have done it in the past, but it really hasn't worked. You know, like the morning calls, for example, you know, to get people on the 8:30 to 9:30 call with us or in our team, or get, you know, the 10 to 12 prospecting calls. How do you set up accountability with somebody else?
you know, that's a great question. And if I had the magic answer, I would give it to you. For all the years I've been doing business coaching, consulting, and even running real estate companies, it's been the toughest thing, Krista, because you're committed, the others aren't, or the others are committed and you're not, right? How do we get the committed person? And that's always the toughest thing. I do know that Steve Pugh has committed to some morning script and role play calls, and he's there every morning. Steve Pugh is with Joe Vero and a few others. They actually do script and role play, I think every single morning. So finding that accountability partner for script and role playing is important. But if you have a coach, Krista, or a life coach, maybe you just send them your numbers every day.
Okay. I've never had a coach, so I was wondering if I should get one.
Krista, I'm going to say yes, 100%. You know, one of the things that I would say is find a coach, because here's what it'll do for you. It'll create that accountability. It'll create that drive. And guess what? When you speak to them once a week, if you haven't done your job, it's like the dog doing something wrong and you go and look at it and it just puts its head down, right? It keeps you accountable. And here's the other thing. Imagine, because you have a great coach or not a great coach, but you have someone that you're responsible to speak to once a week that's helping you achieve a goal, and just tweaking one little thing in your day, such as taking away the home inspection today and putting lead generation in there, how much business would that create for you? Highly recommend it. And if you send me a text message, I'll give you a couple recommendations of great coaches. And just call them. Just call them and say, hey, tell me who you are, what you do. And, you know, if I was to coach with you, what value are you going to bring to me?
Okay, thank you. I'll text you.
What's that?
I'll text you then to get some numbers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Krista. We all need coaches. Some of the, you know, Grant Cardone, Glenn Sanford, some of the top people in any industry have coaches. You know, I see Kirsten DeVito on here. Kirsten, I think she said she has two coaches. I think she has a life coach and a business coach. Many people have a coach for each segment of their life, a spiritual coach or a health and wellness coach, a business coach, you know, there's coaches for everything. And the more we have, the better we become. Great. All right. Anyone else? Ahas. We got 40. Okay, Style. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. The masterclass, guys, you're going to love it. It's at 2 o'clock virtual. Get on it. 1 hour on Sunday, Monday, early AM. Script and role play, follow up, go on appointments, lead generate, go to closings. And this is it's not rocket science. It's very simple. We just have to, the more we do it, the better the results we get. The more we do it, the better the results we get. 40 hours a week. Guys, all I'm asking you to do is analyze your 40-hour week. You may not be working 40 hours, but if you worked 30 hours, what would that do for you? If you worked 20 hours, what would that do for you? Ahas. Letty, thank you. Stephanie, thank you. Krista, thank you. And any others that participated in the call, thank you. And I know several of you have probably in your mind going, there's no way I'm lead generating. There's no way I'm working 40 hours a week. I don't care what I tell my spouse or myself. There's no way. What is the best use of your time? All right, Tiffany.